My students do not know their coins. They don't know the names of them. They don't know the value of them. And I only came to this realization because we were doing our Marcy Cook double tiles task cards activities. And I've done videos on them before. I wish I had brought one home to show you, but you can easily see them if you go back to those videos. They're just wonderful activities, and they're pair activities, and they're tiling things that teach a range of skills: time, money. You know, it'll have all these coin questions, and they don't know, and even measurement. You know, they keep coming to me this week. Where's the yardstick? I need to know how many inches are in a yard. These are things that we assume they already know, but many times they don't. And it's almost all my students who are in this situation with coins. So I knew I needed to find some coin games, and I found a couple, and I'm going to share one with you today. I think it's simply called the dimes, nickels, pennies game. Maybe you can think of a more fun name for it, but they'll just need coins and then a piece of paper, or we did it on a whiteboard. But let me show you how I store our manipulatives. I think I've shown this to you before. I get these bins. You can get them at Walmart at the beginning of the year, and they're just about $1 a bin, and they have them in a variety of colors. And you know, I reuse them. You know, I'll have to replace them occasionally, but they're pretty sturdy. I think they're designed for crayons. I also use them to store our crayons. So each student has 2 of these actually. But in them, I have my number tiles for all my Marcy Cook tiling activities, toothpicks, also for Marcy Cook tiling, coins, and I do a variety of plastic coins and real coins. I prefer the real coins, but you know, that's a bit of money. So whenever I have a stack of coins, I just add it to them so that they have real to go with their fake. And then I started last year putting in a collection of little stones for them to use as counters. It's kind of fun to use something natural than a piece of plastic or a bean. Beans are small, you know, but these little stones are kind of fun, and the students like to hold them. So this is how we store our manipulatives. But in this game, you need to have 3 columns. And like I said, you can make a game board on paper if you like, but my students are adept at just doing it on a whiteboard. So you'll need the dimes, the nickels, and the pennies. And then you'll need a die. Each student or each pair will need a die. And so you roll. Oh, the goal is to get as close to $1 as you can without going over. So you roll, and I have a 2. So you have to decide which of the 3 coins you're going to use, and you can only use 1 coin per round. So I'll choose to use 2 dimes. Okay, then it is my partner's turn to go on her board and to do the same thing that I did on her board, but I'm just going to ignore her. Let's just pretend, you know, she did something great. But now it's my turn again. And you each have a 7 rounds. So I just have them keep a tally. That's another thing that often they don't know how to do. So we both did 1 round. Then I roll again. Oh, and I rolled a 6. So I'm going to do 6 nickels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can see how it goes. Then it'll be my partner's turn to go. And then I will make another tally mark because we both went 2 times. You go a total of 7 times. And you just keep going. I'm going to just put some pennies, some random pennies here for you. Are these all pennies? Yes. All right, let's say we're finished with the game. Then you have to count them up. And one thing I did before we started the game is I showed them how to count coins and how to start with the largest coin that you have, and then go with the smaller ones. So we did that. But I want to share with you a couple of things that I observed. You know, when our students are playing games and they're engaged, it is tempting to go to our desks and do our work because we have so much work to do. But I encourage you, when you can, to just resist that temptation and either circulate with them or actually join in with the game. And I do a combination of both. Sometimes I like to, I'll play sometimes a whole game with a student. Sometimes I'll split my time, join just for a short time, and other times I'm circulating. But on this day, I was circulating. And one of my students I caught, he was at the end of his game, and he was counting dimes as nickels. 5, 10, 15, 20. And so I just miraculously happened upon him, and I was able to troubleshoot that. And his partner hadn't caught the mistake. Why? Because they don't know the coins. They're forever asking me, how much is a nickel worth? Or they don't even know the name of it. How much is this? What is this? How much is it worth? Even a penny. I have even had a student this year ask me, what is the value of this coin? And quarters, they don't know. 50-cent pieces, not a clue. And heaven help them on Sacagawea. So they really do, at least my tribe really does need practice and lots of it with coins. So I, fixed that student knowledge of dimes. And then I came upon Jet and Hannah, who were partners. And I wish I had come upon them 10 seconds earlier. But this is what I heard. Hannah said, Jet, you're going to put all these nickels. It's just 5 times 7. He had 7 nickels. She goes, it's just 5 times 7. And so I said to Hannah, I said, and what would that be? And she thought about it for a bit, and she said, 40. And I said, try again. So while I knew that this would be a fantastic coins activity, what I hadn't anticipated was that it would be a fantastic multiplication activity, adding, multiplication, all of that. So we love this game. It takes you can do it in 15 to 20 minutes easily. So it's a game that I'm going to be playing periodically with them. And let me just tell you, at the end of the game, you want to make sure that you always clean up, of course, but send everyone to the ground to check, because coins end up everywhere. And at the end of the day, and when you're clean, walking about your room, you're going to find coins, and you will be an unhappy teacher. So make sure you really intentionally have them pick up all the coins at the end of the day. And there was one other thing I wanted to tell you. Ellie and her partner came onto a situation where they both went over. And so, she came up to me and she said, Mrs. Matsuda, we both went over. And I said, well, neither of you won, but I guess you could, say who lost the most, who was farther away from $1. And perhaps you and your students will think of variations that you can do when these little situations come up. Now, I got to we played again this week, and I played with Noah, and I played the whole entire game with him. And he got $1.07, and I ended up with 92 cents. So who won? I did, because he went over and I was under $1, even though, let's see, he would have been 1 penny closer than me to $1. And then there was one other thing I wanted to tell you. I've lost it. And the minute I turn this off, I'm going to remember what it was. I'm sorry, I can't remember what it was, but I hope that you will have fun with the dimes, nickels, and pennies game, and your students will grow in their knowledge of money sense. I hope you're doing well. I really do. I hope that mentally, physically, emotionally, you are doing well. Stanley and I are going on a date tonight, and I'm so excited. You know that we love comedians, and our Nate Bargatze is going to be in Long Beach, and we're going to see him tonight. We did a video on our comedians several months ago, so if you find that video, you can find a really funny clip that Nate does on Common Core Math. If you're in the need for a laughter, in the need of some laughter, that's a good place to go. But I hope that you are doing what you need to do to keep your spirit up. If it's gardening, cooking, reading, laughing, whatever it is, I hope that you are doing well. And I'll see you next time. I think the common term is psych. I think that's what my students would say, psych. I'm back because it happened. The moment I turned the video off, it came to me what I wanted to show you. And I also realized that I had switched my pennies and dimes. So there, I'm proper now. But if you do not have coins, you can still play this game. You can have the students, of course, having the actual coins is best, but you can have them draw circles and just write the value in as they go. So don't not play it if you don't have coins. London did a really interesting strategy. She just put a bunch of circles and then put her coins in the circle, and I thought that was very interesting. There were actually 3 things I wanted to share with you. Another was, I think the reason that I beat Noah was that as we were playing the game, I was counting as I was going. So that's a strategy you can either teach your students intentionally, or you can just let them figure it out on their own. And then the last thing I wanted to tell you was that you can do a variation of this game at some point. I haven't done it yet, but you can change the coins. Like if you feel they've mastered pennies, then change it to quarters, dimes, and nickels. And you can change then how much. You can either change the value. I think maybe I would leave $1 the same, but I wouldn't have them have 7 rounds. I'm not sure how many I would have them do. I think I just have to play it and figure that out. But now we're done, and now I'll see you next time.